Thank you. I'm not sure if you've got the names of the squad, so I'll read them out. It's a 12-man squad for the 2022 matches. Cameron White is captain, Tim Paine vice-captain, Aaron Finch, David Hussey, Mitchell Johnson, Brett Lee, Stephen O'Keefe, James Pattinson, Steve Smith, Sean Tate, David Warner and Shane Watson. And
questions from the floor.
Andrew, will you be staying on in the job after losing the Ashes, after Australia's lost the Ashes?
oh, look, I've still got the same passion and enthusiasm for Australian cricket I've always had, so I've been doing the job for a while. I love it. It's a very demanding time for Australian cricket, that's an obvious statement. But in the same breath, it's a pretty exciting time. I see it as a really demanding task to try and get us back to where we were in world cricket. It's a big task and I intend to follow it through.
And if the selectors don't need changing, what does need changing?
Oh, look, we were just, you can't get away from it. We were totally outplayed. England were fantastic. They bowled, batted and fielded better than us. So we just got to get back to being the best at the basic skills of the game that we possibly can be. We've certainly got the talented squad that can do it, but we were totally outplayed.
Because of Philip Hughes' Sheffield Shield record, while selecting, I guess you were trusting your judgment over the results. Does what happened so far, is averaging about the same? Does that mean you were too hasty in bringing him back?
No, look, he's a really talented young player. We still see him as a big part of our future. Moving forward from here, I mean, people talk about rebuilding the side. The reality is the side's been constantly changing ever since I've been involved. At the moment, we've introduced 3 young batsmen into our top 7, which is a massive change. They're all talented players. They've got a lot to learn in international cricket, but they're not going to learn it any other way than playing. So we're going to have to support some young blokes, which we will, and get us through this position.
And just on the T20, sorry, is Cameron's appointment permanent, and is that Brad Haddon's choice not to be keeping him that side?
No, we've taken Brad hasn't been picked in the side. He's obviously disappointed, but the reality is we need to take opportunities from time to time to have a look at other players. We think Tim Paine's got a big future. We're keen to give him some leadership experience as well, which we're doing in the Prime Minister's game and in this 2020 squad. So, you know, Brad is still our number 1 keeper batsman in all forms of the game, but at this particular moment, the right thing is to have a look at Tim Paine.
Cameron is the captain.
Oh, captains are appointed. He's been appointed for the squad, but it is our intention to move forward with Cameron. We think he'll do an absolutely excellent job.
And how much responsibility do you take for the Ashes loss as chairman of the selectors?
Oh, look, I think we've done a very good job as selection panel, but the reality is we were totally outplayed. You just can't get away from that fact. They were better than we were. We put a side on the paddock which we expected to compete really well, and they gained momentum probably at the start of the Adelaide Test match. We regained it a little bit in Perth, but I'd say only a little bit, and then we lost it again in Melbourne. So that's the way the games went. England took their chances, and I've got to say I thought they were superb.
So you don't take any responsibility for the loss?
Oh, I take responsibility for doing the best job I possibly can for Australian cricket, which is what I've always done. I've got a great passion for it. I still want to do it, and I'm sure we're going to get through this stage. But it's going to be tough. It's going to be very demanding. Our next 2 series are tougher than this one, I think. Playing Sri Lanka away and South Africa away is as tough as it gets. So it'll be a steep learning curve for some players, but maybe it's a good way to learn away from home and playing in the toughest conditions. They're going to learn pretty quick. Well, I wouldn't be blaming the captain. I mean, they played better than us. Unfortunately, people have to accept that's just what happened. Ricky would have liked to get more runs, but that's the issue, not the captaincy. The reality is at the moment we're about to go on a World Cup. I am totally focused, rightly or wrongly. Our campaign at the moment is to get back to the World Cup. We won 3 in a row. We're going to try and make it 4, which is obviously going to be a fairly daunting task to do, but we're going to pick a squad in a few days which we think is capable of doing it. So our focus is going to be on the World Cup. Our focus is going to be on Ricky Ponting getting fit and leading that World Cup campaign.
I asked you, do you endorse him as Test captain? Do you do that?
We haven't got a Test series for about 7 months. At the end of the World Cup, we'll sit back like we do it every season and we'll review our positions going forward in a whole range of issues.
Andrew, you said you've done a very good job on the selection panel. Can you explain what the selections were very good?
Oh, we were outplayed. It's as simple as that. We weren't good enough to beat them. They played at the best of their game, and we didn't bat, bowl or field well enough. So,
Was a very good demonstration.
well, those issues have got nothing to do with selections. That we need to play at the maximum of our ability. I said at the beginning of the Ashes, if we didn't play to our best of our ability, we wouldn't win the Ashes, and we didn't play to the best of our ability. I've got to say, England played as well as a side can play. Really, they were extraordinarily good.